as much as I'm all for black people any day, I'm all for African unity, Pan-Africanism, I'm all for that. And I will never do that blindly because I'm an open-minded person. I don't just do things on the basis of black people only and not challenge things that are faced by us black people and not challenge certain stereotypes that are faced by us as black people and our problems which we have. I'm gonna confront them. Even though I love black people, I'm not scared to call black people out. I'm not. After all, I'm not gonna be a racist when I do that anyway. I'm gonna be a black man calling another black man out. So we see now today the white Afrikaners have started their own YouTube, their own Uber, and they are trying to get it to the market. It's gonna be working in Centurion, Pretoria sides, those sides where white people are predominantly dominant, kada, and it's a white Afrikaner initiative. They came up with it, and one rule that black people have been disappointed and dissatisfied with is the fact that these white Afrikaners Uber, the only requirement for them to employ drivers, they only want drivers who speak Afrikaans only. Many black people are throwing tantrums, like trying to get involved in those ngasezabo. Like, this is not your thing. Like, pumento enzabantu, like akusinto zenu, like itwada. Like, don't even want to comment here and like debate with me. Like, yo, this and Q, the constitution, it says unity. Don't even do that. Like, there's no need. Puma da. Leave them do their own thing. It's their Uber. I get it's called Wanatu. Let them do their Wanatu Uber. Let it go. Because we as black people sometimes we look like hypocrites. And it gets to a point whereby it's not just hypocritical. We end up looking like clowns, looking like fools, looking stupid in the front of the whole world because of our hypocrisy. We are comfortable with having taxi drivers that speak Zulu in Gauteng, pure Zulu in Gauteng and only Zulu. Driving all over the place, speaking just one language, playing Zulu music in the taxi. We never hear white people, Afrikaner people complaining that, nah, why are these black taxi drivers speaking Zulu? Why are these taxi drivers playing Zulu music? Is that the requirement? And we know majority of the Zulu taxis in Gauteng and Jozi, the requirement is that you have to be a Zulu guy. And I know there's drivers who are Tonga, there's drivers, but predominantly the taxi industry is dominated by Zulu people in Jozi, Gauteng. And then when you want to hear a specific tribe, maybe Limpopo, you'll hear Tongas, go to Venda, you'll hear Venda taxi drivers. But in Jozi, you're talking about the center hub of South Africa. In Jozi, it's predominant Zulu people who are taxi drivers. So you never hear white Afrikaners complaining because they know that they are not the target market. They are not trying to go into a taxi and chill there. Like, oh, you're free. So buyers keeper, they don't even try to involve themselves. They don't even want to dive in that conversation and involve themselves. Like, no, you guys must speak English. You guys must speak Afrikaans. They don't do that. But they create their own things. So why do you feel the need as a black person? You want to involve yourself in their things when they never involve themselves in your things. They never tell us that taxi drivers must start speaking Afrikaans. They never do that because they know first and foremost they won't get away with it. Secondly, they know like it's none of their business, it's none of their things. They don't even want to give out the taxis. They want the Uber. So let them create their own Uber. Let them do their own things. I don't see anything wrong with white people and white Afrikaners creating their own Uber, speaking their own languages, their drivers speaking their languages. That's what they created. What have you created as a black person? What have you created? Sometimes it's easy to speak as someone who hasn't done anything. Speaking against people who have shown so much to the world. Speaking against people who have contributed something. It's easy to say, Elon Musk, Elon Musk, nah, is It's this, that, and that. It's easy to say that as some lame guy chilling at KFC. Umama, Wi-Fi as a KFC. Umama, Wi-Fi, yes, a mall. It's easy to comment such rubbish like Elon Musk doesn't deserve to be a billionaire. It's easy to say that if you haven't invented anything, if you haven't invented jet, if you haven't invented rocket, if you haven't invented a car that doesn't need petrol, if you haven't invented or bought a Twitter and changed it and made it a freedom of speech platform. It's easy to speak out of pocket when you haven't achieved anything. It's so easy. What have black people achieved? And if you achieve, because this is one thing about us black people, when other races do their own things and then they wanna just preserve their own cultures, they preserve their own languages, preserve their own race, we see it as a problem. But what happened when us as black people want to start our own things? Are we gonna be calling our own schools in Afrikaans names, in English names? Are we gonna be calling our own institutions in English names, Afrikaans names? No, we are not. We are gonna be calling them in our own languages, in our own Kasi names. Look at the shoes. Abu Patu. Patu is like a street lingo. He took it and made it a shoe name. We don't hear white people saying, nah, why are you calling this shoe Patu? Patu is predominantly a language that is spoken in the streets Ekasi by South African blacks. We also want to be included. Call it something else. Like, they never do that. They never say that. They never even try to assert some dominance and influence in our things as black people. We are changing street names today, calling them with our African heroes, changing them, calling them in African names. We don't see them coming trying to fight us over those things. Our stadium bridges are called in Kasi names, local African people's names. They don't fight it. They tried, but they saw Ayazin. It's none of our business. Let's leave this. We have bigger fish to fry. But us, so bad. Like, no, why are they doing this in our country? Like, no, these people are Europeans, they're settlers, they must not start there. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Why? It's unnecessary. Like, there's no need. Let them be, let them do their own things. Do your own things, you. Do your own things. Start your own Uber. Let's see where you end up. You think starting an Uber in Tozokzal. Start your own Uber. And maybe finally you'll understand the challenges they face. Maybe finally you'll understand how it feels like to study it and register it. Study it. You learn a thing or two about that business. You learn a thing or two about e-hailing. You learn a thing or two about transportation, logistics. You learn a thing or two, even if it's a failed business. But start it. Let's see where you end. Start your own and be inclusive. Let's see if it's owned by you. Will these people come and give? Let's see. You are so inclusive. Start it. The inclusive Uber app, Uber taxis. Start them. But it is what it is. We thank you very much.